This episode of the Royal Insider is brought to you by Covenant Health. Covenant Health, the official sports medicine partner of Johnson University Athletics. Well, hello and welcome to another edition of the Royal Insider. I am your host and athletic director, Brandon Perry. We're excited to be here. We're actually taking on a new format today, and we have with us Coach Todd Haliburton.
Hey.
Coach, welcome.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, so today we're looking at focusing on the preseason for women's soccer. You're about to kick things off. You're gearing up, been in practice for a couple of weeks now. And really what we want to do for the listeners out there is we want to tell you all about women's soccer today and kind of focus on that. So just a quick outline of our show today. We obviously are going to have a chat with Coach Haliburton. We're going to go into a recap of this week with the Royals as games got on their way finally this week. Have a special interview with one of our women's soccer players, and then we'll try to preview next week and what's coming up after that. But Coach, man, it's already been an eventful preseason, right?
It has been a full preseason. It's been a full preseason. We hit the ground running in women's soccer. I know I can't speak for the other sports, but for us, we hit the ground running. I mean, we have a full day on Sunday when they move in, and then starting on Monday, we're going wide open. We're going wide open.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, and now you're sitting here. You just got back. I mean, literally just got back from a trip that the team took to Aruba. Man, tell us a little bit about that. What was that like?
Yeah, so we got back Saturday night at 10:15, which is actually earlier than I thought we were going to get back. So that was kind of nice. But, Aruba is such a great trip. It accomplishes a couple of things for us. One, it's like a hyperbaric chamber of team building, team bonding, because we literally have them in a foreign country where they only know each other. Yeah. So they're dependent upon one another. So it really works on team bonding, team culture aspects of that we want. But we also get to do a lot of work. We do a kids camp, which is great for the girls. They handle all of that. The coaches literally sit on a balcony and watch, and they coach every aspect of it. They develop it. Those kids love them. They love those kids. And then we played a couple of games while we were there. Yeah. And did some training. So it was a good time.
Absolutely. Well, I really thinking through this, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I struggle taking my family out of the country, and there's just 4 of us. So what is it like getting 25 college girls out of the country and into a new country?
Yeah. So first of all, it's easier than taking your family. I've learned. Yeah. I know that too, because I've taken my family to Aruba before, and it can be challenging. But for us, one of the reasons that we choose Aruba is because of the island itself. It's such a great group of people that live on the island. The Aruban people, their logo is, or their slogan is, "One Happy Island," and it truly is. Yeah. Everybody there is so helpful. They work on island time, so nobody's in a hurry, and so they're really helpful as far as like getting us to places and helping us find places and helping us get our luggage to and from and everything. So, getting all of them, there were 35 of us total, coaches, players, everything this trip. It can be challenging, but we've learned a lot. This year, for instance, we would text the girls the menus to wherever we were going to go eat, and they would order like 3 hours in advance, and then we would run them that order to the restaurant and give it to them so they could be prepped and prepared for. So we'd walk in and eat. We rent vans. Driving around there is really easy. They actually don't have a red light on the island. Everything is roundabouts. It's all roundabouts. Yeah. So the first time you drive one of those, you're going, where am I going? Like, how am I doing this? But then you start to learn that they tell you on the street which exits there are on which interior, exterior circle in the roundabout. So you start doing that. So there's a lot of like little things like that you have to pick up on and figure out. But once you do that, it's easy. Honestly, we started going there because my family went there. We loved it. We absolutely loved the island. And we made some really good connections. We made some connections in churches around there. We made some soccer connections. Sure. And so we go back. We take the girls to visit a church every time that we're down there. Yeah. And this particular year, the church that we went to was the church of one of our main soccer connections down there, a gentleman named Eddie Berg. And we didn't tell the girls before we got there that his church is in Papiamento, which is the national language down there.
Right.
Papiamento is a mixture of Spanish, Dutch, French, and English. So it's a crazy language. If you put it into Google Translate, unless you specify Papiamento, it can't translate it because it's just so jumbled. So we didn't tell the girls it was in Papiamento. So we took them there, and it was really neat because you could kind of see that little bit of like, oh no, when it first started. But by the end of it, it was really cool because kind of the phrase that we used were, I couldn't understand anything they were saying, but I understood everything that was going on.
Right.
So it was just this really cool thing of just the Holy Spirit coming in and kind of showing us that God is God no matter where you're at or what language you're speaking.
Absolutely.
Really, probably one of the coolest moments of the trip.
That's pretty awesome.
So yeah.
That's pretty awesome. This is your second trip with the team, correct?
Yes, we went 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, let me ask this question. I mean, obviously, this is becoming important to you. It's important to your culture. Like, what do you think this experience does for your team?
Oh, for sure, it pulls them together faster than any other thing that we do.
Yeah.
Again, doing it right off at the beginning of the season and putting them in a situation where they don't know anybody around them. Yeah. So they have to start to pull each other in. That's the main reason that we started to do this, was for that culture building aspect.
Sure.
And so we just feel like that taking them, we've done other trips, but we feel like separating them, putting them in another, culture as it would be, helps their culture, but also just life experience. We tell our girls all the time, when you leave here in 4 years, we want you prepared for what's next. Like if we only prepared you for, 80 games, then we failed in our job. Sure. Like we need to prepare you for the next 80 years of life.
Right.
And I think giving them these life experiences of, okay, now you're here, let's problem solve this, let's figure this out. I just think it's good for them. And so for us, I think they gain life experience, and I think that they gain community with each other out of this more than anything. We can practice anywhere, we can play games anywhere. Sure. But I think those two things are the two components they gain that they can't gain anywhere else.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this for years before you actually went on your first trip. I mean, you and I had this back and forth for a while because I think both of us had a similar dream here. And just the idea, the concept of stepping outside of yourself, experiencing things that are new, that are just different. I don't know. For me, that has always been like vital.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that's something your girls experienced this week.
Yep. We go into places. We have this one play. I'll just tell you this quickly. We have a food truck we like to go to down there. It's called Julio's Corner. And it's supposed to be the best in Aruba. And it's delicious. It's great. The first time we went 2 years ago, we just walked in cold turkey, ordered after a game. No one there speaks English. No one in Julio's Corner speaks English. So we struggled. If it hadn't been for having Lillian Lopez with us, who speaks Spanish, we would have never been able to order.
Right.
So this year we go back and we take the orders, and Dan, Megan's husband, goes with us, and he does a lot of our running. And he runs errands for us, does the pre-orders and all that. He goes in, he uses Google Translate and the form that we have to communicate with this lady. And she was just so excited that we were there. But our girls walk into that situation and they'll have to run up and ask for a condiment or, something that was left out or whatever. And they're walking into a situation where no one speaks English, and they've got to troubleshoot, like, okay, how do I communicate with this? Right. And I learned that years ago on a mission trip to Korea, and all I wanted to do was get away from my translator, because I love to be in situations like that. So all I wanted to do is get away from my translator, and I walk into this store to buy something from them, like a Coke or something, and they don't speak English, I don't speak Korean, and I suddenly realized why our translators didn't want them away from us, because I'm having to give them money, only I don't know how much money I have to give them. So I finally took all of the money out of my pocket, laid it on the desk, moved it over to them, and went, they counted it out, and they were very honest and handed it back to me. So real world experiences like that, just really neat for them. And I just think those are things they'll carry with them forever.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, let's transition a little bit to the preseason and your upcoming season and stuff. So I talked about this last week, Coach. I love this time of year. I think the analogy I used last week, I'm a Reds fan, and in the preseason, I am a winner.
Hope is alive.
It is alive, and this is why I really like this time of year, is that there is so much hope. but also the preseason is a grind.
Yeah.
It just is a grind. I mean, how has your team handled the transition back to campus?
Yeah, they've done really good. We try to keep things like familiar, but also give them some variation. Like for our girls, they do a 7 a.m. Conditioning run as a team in the mornings. And then we do breakfast and then a training session, and then we come back that evening. But we like to throw in some little changes here and there. You don't have training tonight, or we're doing this. Earlier this morning we did media day instead of a training day, where we brought in a local photographer and did photos and videos and all of that. And so we try to vary things like that, so it's not just constant training. But they get tired. They celebrate when this week is over. They'll be happy when this week is over. There were TikToks made last year at the end of training talking about surviving preseason and everything. Sure. 3 weeks is a long time.
It is.
Especially the years we don't go to Aruba. Yeah. We go every other year. So the year that we don't, it's 3 straight weeks on campus, and that gets to be a lot.
Yeah.
And it's tough. But they've handled it really, really well. We've been very lucky from the injury bug. We had a couple that came into camp recovering from knee injuries. They've been cleared now, so they've both been cleared for full contact. And we've not had any real injuries jump up and bite us so far. So we've been real lucky. Their bodies are holding up and things are going well.
Yeah. Well, now last year's preseason got off to an interesting start for you personally, actually. Yes. So, I mean, it has to be good for you to just be in practice right now, obviously. Yeah. And I'll let you tell that story a little bit about how preseason started.
Yeah, 100%. So like less than a week before preseason, I wake up in the middle of the night on a Friday night, Saturday morning, feeling a lot of chest pressure. And after some debate within myself and some talking with my wife, we decided I should go to the hospital. I did. Luckily, I did. And I will say, PSA, always listen to your body. It knows what's going on. Don't ever just go back to sleep, because if I'd gone back to sleep, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
But I went to the hospital. I was actively in a heart attack. I had a 99% blockage in one artery and an over 90% blockages in 3 other arteries. They did a stent that day, and then I had to take a month off. So I wasn't allowed to I could come and watch a little bit of training, but I wasn't allowed to be out in the heat for long periods of time or anything like that. A month later, after my heart had recovered from the heart attack and the stent, they do a triple bypass. Yeah. And at that point, I'm out. I'm watching games online and stuff like that. I'm not in training. I'm not doing anything.
Right.
I was able to go watch over from the top of the hill a little bit, but I had to monitor my heart. And if it got too high, I had to step out. So for sure, like I had put so much work into last year's team and season, just prepping for it, that in my bed after my stent, like within an hour of the stent surgery, I looked at my wife, and my first thing I really said was, I put so much work into this season. So I was so disappointed that I wasn't going to be able to experience that. And all the doctors and nurses would constantly check in and say, how's the team doing? How's your daughter doing? Because as most people know, my daughter, Coach Courtney, who coaches here, took over as the interim head coach, and she was coach of the year last year, so she did a pretty good job.
She did a great job.
So they would ask, and I would say, she's doing a great job. I said, but look, I'm going to be honest with you. I gave her the keys to a pretty nice car, so it'd be pretty hard to mess it up. But no, she did great. Our players responded so well to that situation, and it was great. So I'm so excited to be back this year and experiencing this.
I do tell people when they've asked me about your situation, about our phone call, because I swore for like 2 days you were playing a joke on me. Yeah. I've had people call me throughout 18 years of ministry. Lots of people called me with health scares.
Yeah.
I've never had one like yours where I was like, he didn't have a heart attack. There's no way.
Yeah.
You were so upbeat.
So I was actually supposed to do a wedding that day on that Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'd done the rehearsal dinner the night before, and we had to call them and tell them. But I had told Leanne on the way to the hospital in the heart attack, I said, whatever they tell me, whatever they do, when we get done, we'll go straight to the house. I'll get my suit and I'll go do the wedding. And they're in the middle of doing the stent. And Leanne, a friend of ours, was one of the nurses in there, and she would come in and update my wife on how things were going. And she said, now he has a wedding tonight. And she just looked at Leanne and went, no, he doesn't.
Of course he doesn't.
So,
That's funny. Yeah. But also makes a lot of sense. So, you're in preseason, you're through preseason at this point, or at least right at the tail end of it. You're healthy, which is good. Sounds like your players are healthy.
Yep.
What are you most encouraged by so far?
One, I'm really encouraged this year by the community within our team. I had some one-on-one conversations with some of the players on the trip back home. Just asked their opinion on the trip and how they felt. And one of the things that they all came back and said, everyone that I talked to, was just how the team came together in this trip. Everybody just kind of floating back and forth. I mean, clearly you're always going to have those. You're going to have your friendship group within the team.
Yeah.
I don't register the health of our team by whether or not we have friendship groups in it. I register the health by how often those friendship groups are infiltrated by other people. Mm-hmm. And we saw just a lot of just floating back and forth and team groups interchanging. And so I was really encouraged by that, but also just their coachability. Both the first half of both of the games that we scrimmaged while we were down there were kind of rough. They listened, they adjusted in the second half and came back and had dominant performances in both second halves. And so I was really encouraged by their coachability and the community. I think those are the two big things that we tell our girls all the time. If you guys love each other and you, excuse me, I'm so sorry. If you guys love each other and you listen to us, we will be successful.
Yeah.
And I think they learned that this week.
Yeah.
So
which you can't ask for much more than that, for sure. But I would also say that, like, as a coach, you can't help but see here are the areas to grow. Too. Like, so what are some things that you're hoping to some areas of growth that you see, like some potential that's out there?
Yeah. So I'm really encouraged by this freshman class. Everybody got to play a lot in Aruba. Yeah. Probably not as much as they wanted to play, but we got to play everybody. I'm really encouraged by this freshman class. But I think, so what this class has, or what this group has, they've got a lot of experience, a lot of maturity. The senior class this year, they came in as freshmen, they had to play.
Yeah.
They were dependent on to play. So some of them, they've been starting literally every game since they've been here. So a lot of depth, a lot of maturity. This freshman group, they've got a lot of talent, a lot of intellect, but they've got to grow in that maturity.
Yeah.
So we're looking for that growth and maturity. The other thing that we're really looking for, that we see as kind of hey, we really need to increase this area, is we're a really dangerous team, but we don't score a lot of goals.
Yeah.
And so we've been preaching, like, be hungry in the final third. You've got to finish those goals. And we need to see them improve in that area. If they want to be the champions that they can be, the champions that they're quality enough to be, they're going to have to improve in that area.
Yeah, that's good. Well, let me ask one more question here. Like, what do you see? I mean, if you're talking to Johnson fans out there who are just now like catching up with women's soccer here, and they were to come to one of your games, what do you think they're going to see at that point? What do you want them to see in your program?
Yeah, so I think they're going to see a couple of things. One, I think they're going to see a really fun style of soccer played.
Yeah.
We play a possession-based style of soccer. We move the ball around a lot. Right. I had to tell the girls all last week and the week before, you don't have to go 100 miles an hour all the time. It's okay to use pace as a tool, because they've gotten so comfortable with what we do that they're just flying up and down the field and they're moving the ball around, and it's just fun to watch. But we're like, sometimes we got to stop, build, and then when we get into that final third, let's get hungry and go to goal. So I think they're going to see a fun brand of soccer. I think they're going to see a group of young women who love what they do, but have a good time while they're doing it. They're going to be fun. You're going to see good attitude. You're going to see fire. You're going to see grit. You're going to see determination. But at the same time, you're going to see girls that are excited to be playing a sport they love, and are good sports, and represent the university well. But I think that's the most common question asked by a recruit.
Sure.
What do you play? What style do you play? And my answer is always, we play a really fun brand of soccer that's good to watch, and I think people enjoy it. Yeah. So I think that's what they're going to see. I think even if you're not a soccer savant, maybe you've never watched a game before, I think you could walk in and have a good time at our games, because you're going to see the girls having a good time, and they're good at what they do. So I think that's what they're going to see.
The AAC poll came out. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you were preseason picked 6th.
Yeah, we were tied for 6th.
Tied for 6th. what do you think needs to happen in order to move up in that poll to be ahead of that spot, that prediction?
We got to beat the teams in front of us.
Yeah.
That's what we keep telling the girls. We're like, if you don't want to be here, then you've got to beat everybody that's in front of you. And once you
One
do
step
that,
at a time, right?
then you're going to get up there because, that's the only way you move up.
Yeah.
You don't move up by looking pretty or having great uniforms or great facilities, which we have, by the way. Our soccer facility has taken a massive step forward this year. Yeah. It's beautiful. Can't wait for everybody to see it. But you don't get pole positions by those things. You get pole positions by putting the product on the field that wins the games that you need to win.
Yeah.
And so those are the games we have to win. The ones in front of us if we want to move up. And so I think we've got a good team. I think they're capable of doing unlimited things if they put their mind in the right place, listen to their coaches, and stay as one unit even when things are tough.
Yeah.
And they're not going the way they want them to go. But that's it. They got to beat the teams in front of them. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Coach. We're going to continue. Coach Haliburton will be back with us as we continue the show today as our co-host for the day.
There we go.
And we'll be right back.
What does strength in numbers mean to you? At Covenant Health, it means we see nearly 2.2 million visits annually. It means our 13,000 dedicated experts are all working together for a common goal. With over 150 locations throughout East Tennessee, you'll always find an open door to care, because we are committed to being the first, best, and strongest choice for the one number who matters most. You. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
And we're back, and we want to take this segment to talk about what has happened in the last week here with the Johnson Royals. And Coach, for the last couple of weeks, I've started this segment the same way. It's summer. There's nothing going on.
Nothing is happening.
Absolutely nothing
at all.
Other than recruiting, but which is a lot. But it's been kind of quiet. But this week changed.
It did change.
So volleyball kind of got off to their first weekend, had 4 games this weekend. They're the first ones to play, go 2-2 on the weekend, played really great competition, and excited that they were able to get off the ground and get running. Coach, as you looked at the volleyball team this weekend, what were some things that stood out to you?
Yeah, first of all, what a way to start your season.
Yeah.
I mean, they played some really strong competition.
Absolutely.
I mean, they played, you've got Goshen, you've got Lindsey Wilson, you've got Campbellsville, and you got Shawnee State. Lindsey Wilson and Campbellsville last year, they won between the two of them 49 games.
Yeah.
Between the two of them. Lindsey Wilson was 27-9, and Campbellsville was 22-12. Lindsey Wilson's already started the season 4-0.
Yeah.
So they weren't playing around with the teams that they were playing.
No, it was a tough weekend.
It was
a
tough weekend, but there's so much you can learn from that. Like it's as a coach, you balance all the time. What should the start of my season look like? What should my out of conference look like? And you go, well, we should probably pick up some wins, but at the same time, you've got to test your team. You got to learn what you've got.
Yeah.
And the only way you do that is just by going out there and playing teams that can beat you. Yeah. And so my hat's off to Coach Van Hoy and this schedule at the beginning of the season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk about this all the time as a staff. I mean, if you want to be at the top, you got to feel what it's like to be at the top. You got to play those teams, and Coach Van Hoy absolutely did that. Man, she had some players that stood out for sure over the weekend. Abby Brown continues to just add to what Abby has done since she's got to Johnson.
Listen, Abby Brown has 35% of the team's kills.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody out there is unfamiliar with volleyball, a kill is the volleyball version of a dunk.
Yep.
It is like the most exciting part. If you're just a fan, that may not be for the players. I think it is. I went on a deep dive and I got caught in a YouTube cycle of watching kills this weekend.
Yeah.
And the way it excites the players even.
Yeah.
She has 35% of the team's kills. She had 7 kills in the first game, or in the first set of matches, 7 kills in the next, 18 in the next, and 22 in that last match against Shawnee State, that last set of matches against Shawnee State. She had 54 out of 152 kills. That's 35%. That's incredible, that kind of production, and I just that blows me away. I don't know a lot about volleyball. I played a little bit. My girls played a little bit when they were younger, but nobody in middle school volleyball's hitting a kill shot. So I just think she jumps out to me. Now, Coach Vanoy, I asked her, I said, give me a name. And she pointed out Lucy Morris. And Lucy is their middle hitter.
Yeah.
She's 5'10". 5'10", Brandon. I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
5'10".
Yeah, I bet she jumps better than you.
I know she jumps better than me. And if you don't know what a middle hitter does, anybody that's watching, because again, I had to educate myself, they take care of most of the like blocking plays at the net.
Absolutely.
And they do the fast offensive breaks. And so they're pivotal to the team.
Yeah.
And so she's a sophomore. She's 5'10". She's playing, she's taking care of business. And she's going to be her and Abby are going to be huge pieces to the success.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Lucy had a phenomenal freshman year,
yeah.
To say the least. She was a big surprise for us, really stepped up and did some great things. And it looks like she is well on her way at controlling the middle of the court.
Yeah.
And it is interesting when you watch volleyball to like think through that and sometimes the middle doesn't like show up in stat lines.
Yeah.
Right. It's controlling where the other team hits the ball because they got to hit around you. And that's, it's impressive how she's done that at such a young age and just jumped right in right from the get-go. I think there are lots of people who stood out from the weekend. It is awesome to see the Royals get off to this kind of start. They finished fourth last year in the conference preseason. They were picked fourth again. But I really think the Royals have a good shot at doing something special.
Yeah, I tell everybody I talk to, when I meet somebody who plays volleyball, I'm like, you should look at Johnson. Like, we've got a really good volleyball team.
Yeah.
And they're up there every year. I mean, when we were in CCAA, they were up there every year.
Yeah,
and now absolutely. In the NAIA, I mean, right off the bat, they were up there.
Yep.
And they qualify for tournament every year. They play well in tournament. So, I mean, there's no reason to think that they couldn't have just a special season this season.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Well, for this week, that's all the things that have been going on so far. It's about to pick up, though.
Yeah.
It's about to really, we're about to get busy. This push through September is a wild ride.
Yeah, well, we're fixing to have women's soccer, men's soccer, volleyball, cross country, tennis, men's golf.
Yeah,
like there's so much going at one time. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. These segments are going to get a little bit longer, I think, every week. But however, we will be right back right after this.
Everywhere you look, you can find unexpected things that make you smile. Little reminders to care for your heart. At Covenant Health, we bring more heart to more places. That means more locations, advanced treatments, and expert physicians. Because we know your heart beats for more than just you. It beats for the people, moments, and dreams that matter most. More heart in more places for you. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
We are back with the Royal Insider, and we are here with women's soccer player Millie Dudrey, and we're excited to have you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So we really want to just kind of dive into this and get to know you a little bit better and your experience with Johnson Athletics. First, tell us, how does it feel to be back at the preseason grind right now?
Yeah, it feels really good. I think getting back into like the rhythm of things is always really good. And then like seeing all the teammates and then the incoming freshmen, meeting all of them, it's like really fun to be around everyone. Yeah.
Well, from a player's perspective, how's the team's chemistry so far?
I would say this is like the closest we've kind of ever been.
Yeah.
We have a lot of different personalities, and I think they mesh together like really well. And so our energy kind of makes us play better on the field, I would say.
Well, that's awesome. I was telling Coach Haliburton just this morning, as a matter of fact, I love getting to meet the teams, at the beginning of the year. It's like trying to figure them out. And I'm just going to say, you guys are fun. Like it has been
always laughing.
Yeah, you do. You like to have a good time. That is awesome. And getting to do those terribly boring team meetings that I have to do as an administrator. You don't have to agree to that part. Okay. but yes, they are terribly boring. But for the most part, you guys make it fun because you seem to just genuinely like each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So what's been your favorite moment of camp so far?
So like in Aruba.
Well, just in
this
your
year?
preseason
Oh,
period
okay.
so far. Either one.
Well, I was saying in Aruba, I would say meeting like all of the kids was really fun, and I will say there was one girl there that she said something like, "When I get older, like I just want to be a Johnson Royal," and I was like, that is so sweet. Like that they want to like look up to us and stuff. So I just think like favorite moment of that, and then preseason, just honestly being together and like having conversations. It's just really fun being with the team.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you were to describe the Lady Royals soccer team in one word, like how would you sum it up?
I would say united.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of goes with, we talked about it on our senior retreat with Todd. We kind of all want the same thing. Like we want to win, but we want to be better as people and players, but we also want to have fun. Like this is my senior year, so I really want it to be like the best year yet.
Yeah.
And so I think when we do win, we also have fun winning. So it's like a win-win.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, last year's team took huge steps. An amazing year, all in all, tremendous year, especially considering the adversity that the year started out with Coach being out. You guys really stepped up in huge ways. What do you think gave you all that extra edge last year to have such a successful season?
Yeah, so we did face a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
We didn't really have a field during preseason. We didn't have our head coach. Yeah. So we faced a lot of different adversities, and I think that made us want to be better because we started off so like, wow, this is crazy. Like, how are we going to do this? And then it pushed us to be better and win and just, yeah. And then I think Courtney also did a really great job. I think it was really fun, and yeah, I think we did really well.
Yeah. As you mentioned, not having a field,
Yes.
obviously, for those who don't know, we were having tons of issues with the field last year. It was a very challenging time trying to get it to playing standard. And because of that, made some big changes this year. So tell us a little bit about the soccer. It's not on my list of questions I gave you, but you brought it up. So give us a little bit of an insight into the new complex.
Oh, it's awesome. The turf is insane. I think it's a big step up from all the different holes that we had to dodge and try not to break our ankles. So the turf is really great. I think it helps us move the ball a lot faster too. Yeah. So it's like we don't really have to work on things we had to work on last year because it was not the greatest field. Yeah. But I think, that, and I'm excited for the new, what's it called over the
the press box.
Yeah, the press box.
And, and we're hoping to keep adding to that, building onto it over the next few years. So last year you had this great season, your team does, and now you're walking into this. How do you all think that you get to build on that? What are the steps that you need to take to build on that winning season from last year? Well,
I think we need to have we have a bunch of goals. We had a huge list, but I think it's honestly ranking higher than last year is our biggest one because we always want to be better and playing better every single game. So that's like one of our main goals, and then just like I said before, having fun. We want this to be the best season yet. If we don't win all the games, we don't want to hang our heads. We want to still have fun. It's in the end, it is just a game. So, and we're all playing it together as sisters. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, for the last couple of weeks, I have ended these interviews with these rapid fire questions. I didn't put this in the notes either. I'm really good at just getting off a script. So I'm going to give you some rapid fire questions, all right? And you just answer them off the top of your head real quick, all right? They can be one-word answers, not a problem. But who on your team is most likely to hype the team up?
I would say Joe or Lexi. All right. Both of them.
All right. What do they do to hype the team up?
They're just crazy. They have so much energy all the time. Yeah. So, they're always just hyping us up before games.
Awesome. What's your favorite pregame meal?
Pregame meal?
Yeah. Or postgame. You can go with either one.
Some sort of pasta.
Yeah?
I'm always craving some sort of pasta.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So is it a marinara or a Alfredo? What are you?
I used to be an Alfredo girl, but I think it's more marinara.
Okay. Yeah. Going back to the traditional. Yeah. Well, I guess they're both traditional. But, all right. Good. If you were to describe your team and your goals for this year, like tell us a little bit about like what you hope for, and this don't have to be one word.
I feel like I've already kind of said it, but like I just hope for it to be a really good season. I hope we just get closer, honestly, because I mean we were close, but I honestly want to get even closer. So it's like, and then just having fun doing it, and I hope it's memorable. I hope our season is really memorable. I hope we beat teams that we haven't beaten before. I hope we rank really high. So I really hope we go to the nationals, whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Well, absolutely. You guys have built the foundation to be able to qualify for that national tournament, and we hope to see you there.
Yeah.
Millie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And we're glad to have you, and good luck on your season.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back. We're back here at the Royal Insider, and this segment of our podcast, we want to look forward to what's happening this week with the Royals. We got a lot going on as seasons are beginning to pick up, so we are going to turn that over to Addison Lafayette, our sports information director. Now, typically we would have a video of this, but we're having some technical difficulties. We are not a high-dollar pod here going on. So instead of seeing their beautiful faces, you get this graphic right here, right now. So Addison, take us away. Tell us a little bit about what's going on this week.
Yeah, so this week and next week are starting to ramp up with our sporting events, and I know I'm super excited. I'm sure y'all are just as excited. So coming up this Saturday, actually, we have 2 volleyball games. They play at Point and at Cumberland, and we're really excited for that, especially coming off this weekend.
Yeah, can I just jump in there for a second?
Yeah.
I mean, this volleyball team, they'll play anybody. They don't back down from anybody. I mean, that's a big weekend considering what they just came off of. Point used to be in our conference.
Yep.
So it's a really good gauge for them as far as like, are they ready for conference play? And Cumberland's, they're just tough at pretty much everything. So, I mean, I don't know how they are in volleyball. I haven't looked that far ahead, but I mean, this volleyball team, they're not scared of anybody.
2 really good schools, without a doubt, to be able to. I mean, I know for me personally, Point was like a gauge. We would play Point when I was the men's basketball coach, and it was always like a gauge of like, where are we at right now? Are we at, this is before we moved into NAIA, right? Are we going to be good enough to compete or not? And it was a gauge for the transition, to be honest. Point always puts out good programs.
Yeah, I think it ought to be a good weekend for them.
Yeah, absolutely. What else we got going on, Addison?
So actually on Wednesday we have our men's soccer team that's going to be playing at Asbury.
That was really good. I like how you said that. Asbury, Kentucky.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about the men's team yet. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about women's today, obviously, because that was kind of our focus, but we haven't really talked about the men's team. But I mean, they're fun to watch too. They've got some exciting players. They've got a lot of international players on that team from all over. They got some really exciting new players in to watch, and they're going to be fun. I think they're going to be good, and they're going to be fun to watch. And I think if you're an alumni and you're in the Asbury area, or you don't mind that drive, it's not a bad drive. If you want to drive up and support them, they're a team worth supporting. They'll be fun to watch and see some of these. They've also got some really experienced older players. Yep. But then they've got some really talented younger players filling in under there too as well.
Yeah, I mean, each year I think the men's soccer team has gotten so much better. It's a really tough league.
It's a tough conference.
For sure.
It's a tough conference for men's
very
soccer.
physical. Men's soccer is in our conference. So Coach Morris has got those guys going in the right direction. Excited for the year.
Yeah, for sure.
to say the least. We'll be doing a preview next week on men's soccer, and we're excited about that for sure. So, Addison, what else you got for us?
All right. Next we have our last preseason game for women's soccer is coming up. On Thursday, actually, we're playing at Rhone State. So excited to see that and get it going. We also have some more exciting things with soccer coming up. We have the women's soccer team has 2 games has 2 games this next weekend on the 29th and the 30th. And we're really excited again to see y'all and get you going. And, of course, our first home game coming up on September 1st. And we have some exciting things coming for that game. Logan, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so for the first home soccer game, we're going to do a whiteout for all the students listening. So if you want to come to that game, we're going to be doing a whiteout, going to try and get as many people there as possible to support our first official home game on the new turf. And we're also going to have Lil Man's Lemon Shake-Ups is going to be there to sell some lemonade and fun stuff during that game. So it should be a really good time for everyone to come out.
To be honest, I'm pretty pumped about this lemonade thing. I think that's going to be exciting. Also, because I know how hot that turf's going to get. That is the part of this whole piece I'm a little bit concerned about, Coach. It's going to be hot on those things.
The first day we walked out to look at the new turf, Isaac and I, we got out there and you could just see the heat rising up off of it. We were like, is this a good idea? But
lemonade's going to hit the spot.
The lemonade will be nice. I'm hoping he's got some diet lemonade because, as well as a heart patient, I'm also a type 2 diabetic. So lemonade's not always my friend, but it ought to be a fun time. We're going to have some great theme nights and things like that for the days coming up, and Addison and Logan are doing such a good job of just laying all that stuff out, and so there's a lot of fun stuff coming up with that. It ought to be good. We're excited to host our first home game and get to see what we have and how it's going to look on that field. Yeah. It's beautiful. Like, the field is absolutely beautiful. I can't wait for people to see it. I think they're really going to enjoy it. I think it's going to be a great experience for everybody.
Now, before we get to that point, Roan State this week, what are you hoping to get out of this scrimmage?
Yeah, for Roan State, it's really just that next step of seeing, can we play a complete game? Yeah. We played 2 really good second halves. We played one 25 minutes of a great first half in one game. Now, granted, the second game that we played, it was really unorthodox, the team we were playing, so it took us a while to get into it. But we're looking to see, can we put 2 45-minute halves together. Roan State just beat a conference opponent of ours this past weekend. So they're no joke. It'll be a good opportunity for us, and so we're taking them serious, and we hope to see, can we put together those 2 45 minutes? Can we be dangerous in the final third? That's really what we're looking for out of that.
Well, certainly will give you a gauge for where you guys are at on this season for sure. So, Coach, it's been great hosting with you, being a part of the show. I'm going to give you the last word with this question. If there is any Royal fans out there, former alumni, or I guess they're not former alumni, they're current alumni, former students, what would be the best way for people to rally behind your season this year?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways they can do that. One, we're trying to build a really extensive alumni network. We actually have an alumni game and dinner coming up this weekend as well. Awesome. We've got, I think, around 17 or 18 former players coming back to play in that and be here for dinner, and it's going to be a really fun time. We've even got players coming back that predate me, which is really cool to see players that want to come back that aren't even connected to me. I understand the players that have played under me, but new players. So if you're an alumni, we want you to reach out. If you're not in our group, if you're not getting texts from me, we want you to reach out so that we know and we can get you involved and we can get you connected in that. Obviously, just fan support. People come out, show up for the games. We're doing some neat things this year with some professors that we're inviting to come in as special guests of the game, and also some kids. Of course, there's the Royal Kid Club. They can join that, and so many ways there. But honestly, Brandon, it also, if there's somebody sitting out there going, man, I believe in what they're doing and I want to invest in that, we would love to have investors come along beside us.
Absolutely.
As field sponsors or specific areas that they want to sponsor in. Maybe it's the soccer team. Maybe it's the entire athletic department. We're not going to say no to your money. Honestly speaking, we're not going to do that. We're not in a place that we can do that. But seriously, I know there's some people sitting back there going, I would love to invest in something. I like what I hear about what they're doing over there. I would love to invest in that. Obviously, attendance, we need you here, but at the end of the day, it takes money to do what we're doing. And if we want to continue to do it at an excellent level, it's going to require that. So
absolutely,
if people can come behind and just support us financially, that would be fantastic.
Fantastic, yeah. Well, Coach, it's good hosting with you. It's great to have you. Again, as Coach mentioned just a second ago, Little Royals is up and going. If you've got a kid that wants to be part of our kids club, we'd love to have you in that. Also, the Royal Club, which is our benefit package, launched this past week. And you can find all of that at johnsonroyals.com. Thank you for being here. And until next time, this is the Royal Insider, Brandon Perry, as your host. Thanks.